Okay, so you want to own a gym. You find a building, you sign a lease, you fill the floor with treadmills and cable machines and one of those fancy turf strips that every gym has now, and then you open the doors. People walk in, they swipe their credit card, they pay you $30 a month, and you collect checks while they sweat. That is the picture in your head. And honestly, it is not a crazy picture. Walk into any commercial gym on a Tuesday evening around 6 o'clock, and the place looks like a gold mine. Every piece of cardio equipment is occupied. The free weights area is packed shoulder to shoulder. There is a guy doing pull-ups on the rig, a woman filming herself doing lunges, and a line at the front desk of people trying to get a day pass. You look at that scene, and your brain does a very natural thing. It starts multiplying. 300 members times $30 a month, 500 members, 1,000 members. The math feels automatic, and the math feels good. Here's the problem. You are watching the single most deceptive hour in the entire business day. What you see at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday has almost nothing to do with whether that gym is profitable. And the moment you start pulling on that thread, the whole story of this business changes completely. A gym is not really a fitness business. It is a subscription business that happens to have dumbbells in it. That one sentence is worth more than any business plan you could write because it tells you where the money actually comes from, where it leaks, and why most gym owners are not sitting on a beach somewhere. They are arguing with their landlord. The subscription model sounds like the dream. You charge people monthly. The money comes in whether they show up or not, and you build something called recurring revenue, which is the financial world's favorite phrase. Because it means you do not have to sell something new every single day. You sell it once and it keeps paying you. The problem with a gym specifically is that you are selling a product that a significant percentage of your customers desperately want to stop using. Not because they hate you, because they hate the activity. They signed up in January with the best intentions on the planet, and by March they have not been in 3 weeks, and they know it and you know it, and the only thing keeping that membership alive is the friction of canceling. That friction is not an accident. That friction is your business model. Planet Fitness has about 19 million members. Their gyms average around 1,500 members per location. The actual capacity of a typical Planet Fitness, if everyone showed up at once, is somewhere around 300 people. You do that math, and you realize the whole operation depends on the majority of paying customers never actually using what they are paying for. The industry term for this is the phantom member. The person who pays every month, intends to go, does not go, and feels just enough guilt to not cancel. That phantom member is subsidizing your equipment maintenance, your staff payroll, and the members who are there every day wearing out your machines. A gym that is actually fully utilized by its entire membership base is a gym that is probably losing money on its infrastructure. So now you understand the first layer. The business works because of absence, not presence. But knowing that does not mean you know how to run the business. Because the real challenge of owning a gym is not attracting members. It is keeping them. And keeping them requires understanding something that feels counterintuitive when you first hear it. Your churn rate is the number that determines everything. Churn is the percentage of your members who cancel in a given month. If you have 1,000 members and 20 of them cancel in January, your monthly churn is 2%. That sounds small. That sounds manageable. 2% is nothing, right? Here is what 2% actually means. At that rate, you are losing nearly a quarter of your membership base every single year, which means that every year you need to replace 240 members just to stay flat. You are not growing. You are running on a treadmill yourself, signing up new people as fast as the old ones are walking out the back door. The gym industry average for monthly churn at a standard commercial gym sits somewhere between 3 and 5%. At 5% monthly churn, you turn over more than half your membership every 12 months. Your entire business rebuilds itself from scratch every 2 years, and every new member you sign costs you money to acquire. Customer acquisition cost is a term from the tech startup world, but it is completely real in the gym business. You run Facebook ads, you offer free trials, you discount the enrollment fee, you hire someone to manage your Instagram, you do a local radio spot, you put up a billboard on the highway. All of that costs money. The industry average for acquiring a single new gym member runs somewhere between $60 and $100 when you factor in all your marketing spend divided by new signups. That means before a new $30 a month member has paid for anything, you are already $60 to $100 in the hole on them. They need to stay for 2 to 4 months before you break even on the cost of finding them. And you just learned that a significant chunk of your members are gone within the first 3 months, right after the New Year's rush, which is precisely when you spent the most acquiring them. January is the cruelest month in this business. You know January is coming. Every gym owner knows January is coming. People make resolutions, they flood through the door, enrollment spikes, and it feels like the business is taking off. You hire extra front desk staff, you add a couple of group fitness classes, you maybe even bring in a new trainer, and then February hits, and then March. The foot traffic drops by 40%. The new members who came in fired up are suddenly invisible. Your payroll is still up because you hired for the January surge. Your marketing spend is still up because you were trying to catch the resolution wave. And your revenue is basically the same as it was in December because the people who are actually paying you are the same people who were paying you before January. The committed regulars who do not need a New Year's resolution to get off the couch. So you survive January, you survive February and March, you get to the summer and things stabilize, and then you hit the next big wall, which is the physical cost of running this thing. The capital expenditure in a gym is brutal in a way that is hard to appreciate until you own one. A commercial treadmill costs between $4,000 and $8,000. A cable machine runs $3,000 to $6,000. A full set of dumbbells from 5 to 100 pounds with the rack is close to $3,000. A squat rack with a barbell and weight plates is another $2,000. Before you have put a single person on a piece of cardio equipment, before you have painted the walls or installed the flooring or set up the locker rooms, you have spent over $100,000 just on the stuff that sits on the floor. The average mid-size commercial gym, around 5 to 10,000 square feet, requires somewhere between $200,000 and $500,000 in equipment alone to open at a competitive level, and that equipment does not last forever. Treadmill belts wear out, cables fray, weight stack guide rods bend, upholstery tears. A piece of equipment that gets used 8 hours a day, 300 days a year, by hundreds of different people with varying levels of care, is being destroyed at a pace that is genuinely shocking if you have not seen it up close. The industry rule of thumb is that you budget 10 to 15% of your total equipment value per year just for repairs and replacements. On a $500,000 equipment package, that is $50,000 to $75,000 a year that you are spending to keep the floor functional. You are not upgrading. You are not adding cool new stuff to attract members. You are just maintaining what you have, lather the rent on top of that. A gym needs space, real space. You cannot run a proper commercial gym in a 2,000 square foot strip mall unit. You need at minimum 4,000 to 5,000 square feet for a budget operation, and 10,000 to 20,000 square feet for anything resembling a real full-service gym. Industrial and commercial space in most mid-sized American cities runs between $15 and $30 per square foot annually. At 10,000 square feet and $20 per square foot, that is $200,000 a year in rent, before you have paid a single employee, turned on a single light, or bought a single cleaning product. Your break-even point before you make $1 of profit is somewhere north of $17,000 a month just in rent and equipment maintenance. Now you add payroll. You need people at the front desk. You need cleaning staff, because a gym that is not spotlessly clean will die through word of mouth alone in under a year. You probably need at least a part-time manager if you are not going to live at the gym yourself. If you offer group fitness classes, you need instructors and certified group fitness instructors who can actually fill a room charge real money. Personal trainers in a gym setting are often independent contractors, which sounds like it saves you money, but that relationship is complicated. The trainer brings clients to your space, uses your equipment, and builds their own business inside your business. You charge them a monthly fee or take a percentage of their sessions. But when a popular trainer leaves your gym to open their own studio, they take their clients with them. You gave them a platform, they built an audience, and now they are your competition. This happens constantly. The total all-in cost of running a mid-size commercial gym, rent, payroll, utilities, equipment maintenance, insurance, marketing, software for membership management, cleaning supplies, towel service if you offer it, and the 1,000 small costs that nobody budgets for runs somewhere between $300,000 and $600,000 a year. To cover that at $30 a month per member, you need roughly 800 to 1,700 members paying consistently every month before you see $1 of profit. The industry average occupancy for a gym to turn a profit is around 400 to 600 members for a small boutique operation and 1,200 to 2,000 for a full-scale commercial gym. Getting there takes time, and most gyms are not there in year one. Here is where the business model splits into two completely different worlds, and understanding that split is the difference between a business that works and a business that slowly kills you. The budget gym model, think Planet Fitness. Crunch, LA Fitness survives on volume and the phantom member strategy. Low price point, around $10 to $30 a month, massive membership roles, minimal personalization, and an operating model designed to deliver a consistent, low-touch experience at scale. The unit economics only work if you are massive. A single Planet Fitness franchise costs between $1 and $4 million to open and requires a market large enough to support thousands of members. The franchisee profit margin, if they hit their membership targets, is real, but it takes years to materialize. The brand is doing the acquisition work for you, which is the only reason the model makes sense for a small operator. On your own, trying to compete with Planet Fitness on price is a death sentence. You will never outcheap a corporation that has been optimizing this model for 30 years. The high-end boutique model, think SoulCycle, Barry's Orange theory, operates on the opposite principle. High price, high experience, high emotional attachment. A single class at a boutique studio runs $25 to $40. Monthly unlimited memberships run $200 and up. The members are not coming for the equipment. They are coming for the community, the instructor, the feeling of being part of something. The churn is lower because the switching cost is higher. When you cancel your Planet Fitness membership, you feel nothing. When you cancel your SoulCycle membership, you feel like you are leaving a tribe. That emotional attachment is worth more than any piece of equipment you could put on your floor. But the boutique model has its own trap. It is entirely dependent on the quality of the experience, and the experience is delivered by humans, which means it is fragile. One bad hire in a lead instructor role can collapse a boutique studio's revenue in 60 days. The wrong playlist, a front desk person who does not remember your name, a scheduling app that keeps crashing, any of these things erode the premium feel that justifies the premium price. And the premium price means your addressable market is smaller. Not everybody can spend $200 a month on fitness. You are fishing in a smaller pond, and you need every single fish you catch to stay caught. The middle ground, the mid-range full-service gym at $40 to $80 a month, is where the most failure lives. It is too expensive to compete with budget chains on price, and not premium enough to command the loyalty of a boutique. It is the business equivalent of being the most average person in a room full of extremes. Nobody remembers you, nobody talks about you, and nobody goes out of their way to keep coming back to you. The mid-range gym succeeds when it builds something the budget chains cannot replicate. Real community, real programming, real expertise, and charges appropriately for it. The ones that fail are the ones that try to be everything to everyone and end up being nothing to anybody. Personal training is the revenue line that can actually save a gym, not memberships. Personal training. A member paying $30 a month is worth $360 a year to you. A member paying $60 a session twice a week for personal training is worth $6,240 a year. The same square footage that holds a phantom member who never shows up holds a personal training client who shows up twice a week, builds a relationship with a trainer, is far less likely to cancel, and is actively telling their friends how much they like the gym. Personal training revenue at a successful mid-sized gym can represent 30 to 50% of total revenue while using a fraction of the floor space. The gym owners who figured that out early built businesses. The ones who chased membership volume and ignored service revenue built treadmills with a business attached, supplements, merchandise, nutrition coaching, recovery services, massage, infrared saunas, cold plunge tubs. Every single one of these is an attempt to solve the same problem. The base membership price is too low to build a durable business on its own, and the gym owner needs to find ways to capture more revenue per square foot from the people already walking through the door. The economics of a cold plunge tub, which costs around $8,000 to $15,000 to install, renting at $20 per session or $50 a month as an add-on, can generate meaningful ancillary revenue while differentiating the gym from the plain vanilla competition down the street. You are not really in the cold water business. You are in the upsell business. The gyms that make real money long-term are not necessarily the ones with the most members. They are the ones that understand their member lifetime value and manage their churn with the same obsession that a software company manages its subscription cancellations. Every time a member walks in that door and has a good experience, that is a retention event. Every time they get a personalized check-in from a trainer, every time they hit a personal record and someone notices, every time the bathroom is clean and the equipment works and the music is right and the front desk person knows their name, that is a retention event. The physical fitness delivered by the gym is almost secondary. People can do push-ups at home. What they cannot manufacture at home is the environment, the accountability, and the belonging. Sell that, and the $30 a month feels cheap. Fail to sell that, and no amount of new treadmills will save you. The gym business is not hard to understand once you stop thinking about it as a fitness business. It is a real estate business with very expensive furniture, a subscription business with catastrophically high churn, a hospitality business where the product is not the equipment, but the experience, and a community business where the social bonds between members are your most powerful retention tool and the one thing you cannot buy with a marketing budget. The people who succeed in it are not necessarily the most passionate about fitness. They are the operators who understand that a member who feels seen, challenged, and connected to something bigger than a monthly debit on their bank statement is a member who stays. And a member who stays is the only member who matters. The gym you walked past 1,000 times and assumed was printing money might be making it. Or it might be 2 bad months away from closing. Propped up by a landlord who has not raised the rent yet, and a membership base that is slowly aging out. Both of those gyms look identical from the outside. The difference is entirely in what you cannot see. The churn numbers, the personal training revenue, the renewal rate, the cost per acquisition, and whether the person who owns it knows the difference between a gym that looks full and a gym that is actually healthy. This business rewards the operator who treats every member like an asset with a lifetime value and a probability of leaving, because that is exactly what they are. And the operator who understands that a gym's greatest product is not a six-pack or a lower resting heart rate, but the daily decision by a human being to keep showing up, that operator is running something more interesting than a fitness center. They are running a bet on human consistency, and if you know anything about human behavior, you know that bet needs constant tending. That is the real economics of owning a gym. Not the lease, not the equipment, not the membership software. The economics is the daily war against the version of your customer who wakes up at 6 in the morning, looks at the ceiling, and decides today is not the day. Your job is to make sure that tomorrow they change their mind. If you enjoy that fight, and you are willing to learn the numbers cold, this business can work. If you came here for the passive income, there is a treadmill on your floor with your name on it, and it is going to work a lot harder than you expected. If you want to go deeper on how subscription businesses actually work, what churn does to unit economics across different industries, and why the companies that look the most boring from the outside are often the ones building the most durable wealth, that is exactly what this channel is about. Subscribe and come back next time. The next one is going to change how you see another business you walk past every single day.